whenever we go watch a movie, there is always a disclaimer that the movie has nothing to do with any real life incidents. However, still, we all believe whatever is shown in the movie. So, in this video, we will actually analyze how true the things are in the movies with respect to the spies. And we are talking about the recently launched Dhurandar 2 movie. So, the spy of Dhurandar, how close he is to the real life spies. Now, the criteria for comparison that we will use are, for example, the fight scenes or the fight sequences, amount of fight that the spy has to do, as well as the kind of technology, gadgets, guns, fake identities, etc., that they carry, as well as their daily life routine. And subsequently, we'll understand how closely this real spy is related to the real life spy. So let's get started with respect to this comparison. Now, the first question is, in order to compare, we need to first understand who is a real spy. So in front of you is a picture of the black tiger. He is actually a real spy. In fact, India's greatest spy ever. He became a major in the Pakistani army. Can you imagine that? Being a major in the enemy's army. That is what this guy actually achieved. Now, these real life spies who are there, they work for the intelligence agencies. And what's their primary role? Their primary role is not romancing. Their primary role is not fighting as well. Their primary role is to collect information, not to fight the enemies. So, what's their focus area of information? The information can be generally or more impactful information is the political information, the military information, but the warfare these days is not limited to military operations, right? There is economic warfare, there is cyberspace warfare. So you add onto it the economic intelligence, the cyberspace intelligence, so on and so forth. So majorly, it is the information collection which is their major task. Now, if you look at the Dhurandar spy, the spy of the movie actually, so what he does, he basically fights enemies. He keeps on fighting enemy after enemy after enemy. Not just that, his actions many a times in the movie itself, if you combine part 1 and part 2, is nothing but a reaction to the things he hears and the experiences that he has in the enemy territory. He's using high-tech gadgets. He is in constant danger. Not just that, he is creating danger for himself. Here you can see he is lighting a dynamite with his cigarette, so doing extravagant things which catches the eyes of people. That is something that a spy should never ever be doing, but that is what he is shown doing in the movie. So this is what the real life spy was. Now let us look at the real life spy. Yes. So in front of you is Mr. Ajit Doval. Now he is a real life spy, one of India's great assets as a spy, wherein he was in Pakistan spying on the enemies for gathering information for India. So what he used to do? He used to read the reports, build his networks, talk, and most importantly, observe. Observe anything and everything that is happening. And the most important thing, he avoided attention at any cost, which Ranveer Singh in Dhurandhar never seems to do. He rather seems to get as much attention as possible from anyone possible. So you can clearly see that these two spies, the real life and real life, are poles apart. Right. Now let us understand what a daily routine of the spies are so that you can compare it with the spy of the movies. The daily routine of spies would generally be meeting the informants secretly, of course, analyzing the data that they have, the reports that they have gathered, writing the intelligence brief in a coded language, and monitoring whatever the communication that is happening, and very importantly, building long-term trust networks. These long-term networks are not developed in a day, week, month. It takes years, at times even decades to do that. At times, the spy may not have anything to do for days, weeks, and even months. They might have not nothing to do because there are these spies are of course undercover, but then there is a deep undercover. A deep undercover would require decades of remaining dormant, doing absolutely nothing. So that is what a daily routine of a spy actually looks like. Now, what are skills that the spies need? Now, in the movie, when you watch movies and see the spies of the movie, you will see that the spies are fighting, they are muscular, they are, one of the best fighters, they are one of the strongest. In fact, in the movie, they are the strongest. There's no one who is stronger than them. But are these the actual skills required? Of course, you have it. That's not a problem. But the most important skill that a spy would need is intelligence, psychological intelligence. Patience, very, very important. In Dhurandhar, you see that Ranveer Singh loses patience every now and takes decisions in the heat of the moment. So patience is important. Then, of course, languages, different languages, language of the territory where you are in, the cultural understanding of the people, the region, the countrymen of that country, so on and so forth. And of course, very important, observation skills and memory. Because you may not get a time to write it down, to type it down, you'll have to remember and then recollect. Writing anything anywhere just like that and leaving it can put you in danger. So everything has to be in the head, at least majority of it. And also you have to have emotional control, which again the Dhurandhar spy does not seem to have. Now, what are the real life dangers that spies have? The most important, the biggest danger I would say is being exposed. That is more important. They say it's it's bigger than even death. Because when you are caught, ultimate thing would be the death, but how you will be given death is also very important. You would be tortured before that, before the execution. You would be tortured in the best manner possible to extract information from you itself, and then ultimately given the death. So getting caught is the most or the biggest danger there is. Right, there can be double agent betrayals. You are there as an agent, but they know that you are an agent and they are rather following you and tracking you and extracting things from you. At the same time, political abandonment. If you are caught, the country may deny that you are their personnel, that they have sent you. Maybe the country agrees that you are Indian citizen or any country citizen for that matter, for whomever you are spying. Right, but at times the country may completely deny, because accepting that you are the citizen may also have to accept that you are also a spy, because things can be related. So there can be political abandonment, and when political abandonment happens, of course the ultimate death is going to come, the torture is going to come. But at times, because we at the end of the day are humans, there can be a hurt, a pain in our heart, thinking that we have been abandoned. However, the spies are really well trained to understand that this can be their future. So in the movies that they might be shown that they are getting when they are betrayed or when they are politically abandoned, they then turn against their own country. But the real spy would actually be trained amazingly well in them. Now, if you look at the success stories, in India's success story, one of the black tiger that I have told you, that is there in the time of Cold War, USA, USSR also has it. But the success stories of the spies actually remain classified. So the biggest of the success stories we would never ever even come to know. So what is the final take with respect to this comparison of real life and real life spy? So whatever you have understood about a real life spy, you will realize that Dhurandhar shows nothing of that sort, or very less of that sort. Why limit ourselves to Dhurandhar? You take for any other movie and their spies, for example, you might see in a lot of other movies as well, in war, etc., when there are spies. So they are again doing the same thing. They are singing, dancing, romancing, they're doing extravagant thing. They are catching the eye of anyone and everyone, which a spy should not do. Limiting ourselves to the recently released Dhurandhar 2 movie, the take is that around 20 to 30% of the things shown are relatable. However, everything else is exaggerated. The action, the speed, the technology, etc., is exaggerated. In fact, the role of the one India spy in the movie itself, who is in the government of who is basically in the government of Pakistan, is actually a better representation of what a real life spy looks like or does. Because he doesn't fight, he doesn't romance, he doesn't do extravagant things. He's silently going about his work until the end. You don't even know that that person is a spy, because, of course, not much emphasis is on him, but at the same time, he is not shown doing extravagant things, which Ranveer Singh does. So he is more close of a real spy than what Ranveer Singh is with respect to Ranveer Singh, maybe 20 or 30% at best. So this is how a real life spy and real life spy actually differ. So that's about it in today's comparison. For more such informative videos, research, analysis based videos, make sure you subscribe to It's Grey YouTube channel and hit that bell icon so that you are notified anytime and every time we put out a video. Thank you.